Hey, it's Katie, and welcome back to my booktube channel. For today's video, I'll be doing a bookshelf tour. I recently reorganized my shelves. Ever since I started this channel, my shelves have been organized by color, and it kind of looked like a rainbow, but I realized that it wasn't as aesthetically pleasing as I wanted it to be, and it was kind of bothering me. So one day I woke up and decided I was going to spend that day reorganizing everything, and this is the result, and I honestly really love it. It might be a little complicated to explain because I didn't organize it by genre or authors' names or, anything like that. I kind of did a mixture of everything, but it still works for me. It's aesthetically pleasing, but also makes sense in my complicated brain. So I will try to explain this as easily as possible, but basically, I separated my books into two categories. I had fantasies and then romance and contemporary. So I basically matched the book as close as possible to one of those two categories, and I kind of alternated my shelves. So we have my romance and then fantasy and then romance again. We have fantasy, romance, fantasy. So if that kind of makes sense. And I started with these two shelves right here because these are the shelves you guys see in my videos. So I wanted to make sure these had a bunch of books that were my favorites and also books that you guys would recognize. So that's kind of what I focused on with these shelves. And the first one that I organized was this shelf right here. This is all of my favorite fantasies basically are on this shelf and this one here. So we start over here with Carrie Maniscalco. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula, and I am really excited to read Hunting Prince Dracula for Holo Reads next month. We also have Kingdom of the Wicked, which you guys know is one of my faves, and we have this Wrath little 3D thing that I got in a subscription box that I keep by it, and I love it. And then we have the Caraval series, which I also love, the Crave series by Tracy Wolfe, and we have Children of Blood and Bone and Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi, which I don't know when we're getting a third book, if we ever are, but I need one because I feel like I will never be at peace until I know what's supposed to happen in this series. It is so good, and I feel like it's been way too long since we've gotten a book from her, so hopefully soon. And then the shelf finishes with An Ember in the Ashes and A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. I have read the first book in that series, but I haven't read any of the others, and I really need to. I've heard such amazing things, and I have the second one, so maybe at some point I will move on to that series. And then over here, we have a bunch of my favorite romances and contemporaries. These are mostly ones that I've seen on BookTok or also have been recommended to me by Steph. I always talk about her. I will try to link her channel below for you guys as well. She's one of my favorite booktubers, and pretty much every book on this shelf was recommended by her, so I definitely need to give her props for that. But it starts with the Off-Campus series. We have all 4 books, and then I also have the 4th book in the Briar U series by Elle Kennedy. I thought it was the first one when I bought it, but it wasn't, so I will have to collect the rest of them before I start that series. And then we have my little Colleen Hoover collection. I only have 3 of her books so far. We have It Ends With Us, November 9, and Ugly Love. I've read It Ends With Us, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I did a full review on my channel, which I will link for you guys, and it literally broke my heart, shattered my soul. I'm still emotional about it, and it's been almost a month since I've read it. I've never felt that way about a romance book before, and I can finally understand what all the hype is about when it comes to Colleen Hoover, and that made me buy some more of her books. So I read Ugly Love last night, actually, and I also really enjoyed that one. It didn't hit me the same way It Ends With Us did, but I don't know if any book will ever hit me that way again, but it's still really good. So we have that one. And then I bought Neon Gods by Katie Robert because, mythology and romance, what more could you need? I have Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie, Serenading Heartbreak by Ella Fields. We have Vicious by L.J. Shen, Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas, 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole, Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. We have Afterlove by Tanya Byrne, which I just recently got from my Fairy Loot unboxing, which I think I have already uploaded for you guys. But it's the first like exclusive paperback edition that I've ever had, and it has like pink sprayed edges. It's super cute, and I'm really excited to read it. And then we also have People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Beach read is so good, and I am so excited to read another Emily Henry book, so that one finishes off this shelf. This shelf is more of my favorite like fantasy authors and just some popular series that people love to talk about. And here we have all of my Trisha Levenseller books. I have all 5 that she has published so far, and I've read all of them except for Warrior of the Wild. But the other ones I have are The Shadows Between Us, Blade of Secrets, Daughter of the Pirate King, and Daughter of the Siren Queen, which are so good. If you're looking for like pirate vibes, great banter, a great enemies to lovers, definitely go for those. And then I have my Sarah J. Maas collection. I have Throne of Glass, and I really didn't like that one, if I'm being honest. I know it's super controversial. I know people love that series, but I didn't really enjoy it as much as I wanted to. So if you think I should continue that series, please try to convince me in the comments, because I like want to continue it and to see what all the hype's about, but I just don't have that desire right now. So if you think it's important for me to finish it, please let me know below. But then I also have the ACOTAR series, and I've read the first 2 of those. I haven't really had a chance to continue it, but I do plan on it at some point. I also have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and also King of Scars and Rule of Wolves. I haven't read these yet, but they're stunning. I am so excited to dive back into this world and to get to see Nikolai again. He was my favorite character in the 2nd and 3rd book of the Shadow and Bone trilogy. So I'm very excited to see him again. And then we finished this shelf with Red Queen and Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. I really enjoyed the first book, but for some reason have not picked up the second yet. So I definitely need to finish a lot of these books on this shelf, but we're just not going to talk about that right now. On this shelf, we have some more of my favorite romance and contemporaries. These are ones that I've actually really read and enjoyed. So this shelf starts off with Love and Gelato, Love and Luck, and Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. And these are really fun because they take place in other countries, so you get to like travel with the characters. We have Love and Gelato, which takes place in Italy, Love and Luck is in Ireland, and then Love and Olives is in Greece. Then we move on to Geekerella and The Princess and the Fangirl by Ashley Poston, which are really fun. They're kind of like princess retellings. We have like Cinderella, and I am really not sure what that one is right now, but they're really fun, kind of like nerdy, and they take place at like a convention for a TV show. I think that's really fun. And then we have Tokyo Ever After by Amiko Jean, which is so good. You guys should totally read it. I think I have a full review of that one as well, which I will link for you guys. And then we have To All the Boys I've Loved Before, P.S. I Still Love You, and Always and Forever, Laura Jean by Jenny Han. I have not read those yet, but I really do plan on reading the series and then watching all of the movies on Netflix. I feel like they seem super cute. I also have Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer, Even If the Sky Falls by Mia Garcia, Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, and Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins. And those are some of my favorites on this shelf. Those are all so good and super cute. And then the shelf finishes with Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. Moving to this bottom shelf, we have some classic, like older YA series. So we have The Infernal Devices, we have Chain of Gold, and then we have The Mortal Instruments, at least the first 4 books by Cassandra Clare. And then we have the Cruel Prince series. I can never remember what the series is actually called, so I'm just going to call it the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. And then we have the Raven Cycle by Maggie Stiefvater. And then to finish off the shelves that you guys can see in my videos, we have some other like contemporary romances. And I haven't really read too many of these, but I think they're still really fun and ones that you guys would recognize. So the shelf starts with Slay and The Cost of Knowing by Brittany Morris. I haven't read The Cost of Knowing yet, but I really, really want to. It sounds so good. We have Anna Holidays and The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. We have Alex Approximately and Chasing Lucky by Jen Bennett. The Distance Between Us and Maybe This Time by Casey West. Saint Anything and Once and For All by Sarah Dessen. We have The Unexpected Everything and Save the Date by Morgan Matson. Tell Me Three Things and What to Say Next by Julie Buxbaum. We have From Twinkle with Love and Of Curses and Kisses by Sandia Manon. And then we have some Jennifer E. Smith books. We have Windfall, This Is What Happy Looks Like, and The Statistical Probability of Love at First Sight. Alright, so now we are continuing with some shelves you guys usually don't see in my videos. These are the top 2 shelves on my bookshelves, and for these, I didn't really organize them by my favorites or anything. These are just in alphabetical order by author, but I did still alternate shelves between fantasy and my romances. So this first shelf here are some of my fantasies, and we start with The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh, The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis, Cinderella is Dead by Kaylin Bayron, The Lady Rogue by Jen Bennett, The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black, and then we have Frostblood and Fireblood by Ellie Blake. We have The Infinity Courts by Akemi Dawn Bowman, and this is one of my few sci-fi fantasies I have, and I loved it. I usually stay away from sci-fi, but this one was so good. So if you don't usually read sci-fi, I think you should definitely give that one a chance. Then we have The Selection by Kira Cass. We have Spells Trouble by PC and Kristen Cast, which I'm going to be honest, I absolutely hated. It's one of the only books I've ever given 1 star. I was super disappointed. We have some Alexandra Christo books. We have To Kill a Kingdom and Into the Crooked Place. We have House of Dragons by Jessica Cluess. We have some Erin A. Craig. We have House of Salt and Sorrows and Small Favors. I haven't read either of those, but I just got Small Favors, and the cover is stunning. I'm so excited to read that one, hopefully next month or in November, because it gives off some like spookier, like mystery vibes. We also have Legend Born by Tracy Dion, which was so good. King Arthur retelling. It's super fun. It's like an urban fantasy, lots of magical powers. Definitely go read that one. We have Poisoned by Jennifer Donnelly, Wicked Saints by Emily A. Duncan, Curse of the Scepter Queen by Jenny Elder Moak. I'm not really sure how to pronounce the author's name. I haven't really heard anybody talk about this book yet. We have Wings of Ebony by J.L. and Empress of All Seasons by Amiko Jean. I know I'm kind of bouncing around, but I think we'll continue the fantasies down here before we start our romance contemporary section. But we have The Bridge Kingdom and The Traitor Queen by Danielle L. Jensen. I'm so excited to read this duology. I'm really hoping to read it this month and do a reading vlog for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I have Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett, A Curse of Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, Guild by Raven Kennedy, The Diabolic by S.J. Kincaid, A Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova, which was so good. If you're looking for a really great fantasy with world building and romance and all of that amazing stuff, definitely go for that book. Serpent and Dove by Shelby Marin. We have Cinder by Marissa Meyer and Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I love Heartless with all of my heart. It is an Alice in Wonderland retelling. It's so good. And this copy of the book, the hardcover, is beautiful. It has like foil on the hardcover and it's literally stunning. We have Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, Crown of Feathers by an author that I cannot pronounce, Nikki Palprado. I just recently got this book, hadn't heard about it, but it looks really cool and it sounds like it involves like a phoenix or something, so that's why I have this one. Then I have The Kiss of Deception and The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson, Bonecryer's Moon by Catherine Purdy, which was again so good. Really loved that one. I think I gave it 4 stars. Super good. Love the magic system. Can't wait to read Bonecryer's Dawn. I have Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson, Zodiac by Romina Russell, The Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. I've never read one of her books, but I really need to. She has so many like heavy hitters. I feel like so many people talk about her as an author, and I really need to jump on the bandwagon because I feel like I'm going to love her works. I have A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stiefvater, Rhapsodic by Laura Thalassa, Rebel Rose by Emma Theriault. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm really bad with names, so sorry in advance. I have Cursed by Frank Miller and Tom Wheeler, which I think is another like King Arthur retelling. I haven't read it yet, but I think there's also some illustrations, which is super cool. And I have And I Darken by Kirsten White and Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. So those are all of the fantasies that I have on my shelves. Now we can start the rest of my romance contemporary section that are in alphabetical order. It starts with the Bromance Book Club by Lyssa K. Adams, The Geography of Lost Things by Jessica Brody, Not the Girl You Marry by Andy J. Christopher, Alex and Eliza by Melissa De La Cruz, which is obviously based on the story of Hamilton. It's the love story between Hamilton and Eliza. I haven't read it yet because I'm not too big on historical fiction, but I thought it would be really cool because I love Hamilton the musical. So hopefully one day I will finally read this book. We have I Think I Love You by Ariane DeSambro, which is super cute. It's a sapphic romance and it also involves like a film festival, so really cute. I have Pride, Prejudice, and Other Flavors by Sonali Dev, The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Again, not sure how you say his name, but I got that one because I've heard really great things about it. I have Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I'm really excited to read that one. Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks, which is, I think, the only graphic novel that I own. I have I Love You So Mochi by Sarah Kuhn. I have Wanderlost by Jen Malone. American Royals by Catherine McGee. The Weight of Feathers by Anna Marie McLemore. Love Unscripted by Owen Nichols. And Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. And then the very last shelf we have the rest of my romance and contemporary collection, and then I also have a section that has all of my like thrillers and horror books because I don't have a lot of those, but I couldn't really decide if I wanted to combine them with my romance and contemporaries or add them into my fantasies because I don't think they fit either genre. So because I didn't really have enough romance and contemporaries to fill up the shelf anyway, I just put all of my thrillers together. So on this shelf, we start with Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I have Strange the Dreamer by Lonnie Taylor, Stay Sweet by Siobhan Vivian, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton, Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet by Lake and Zeekamp. I am so excited to read this one. It sounds like it is super powerful and meaningful because it deals with immigration and things like that, but also it has a lot of like food and it just seems like a food-centric contemporary, which I am like addicted to those. So I'm really excited to read this one, and the cover is super cute. And then with my thriller horror section, we start with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus, Even If We Break by, I really don't know how to say this person's name, so I'm just going to go like this and hope you guys can read it because I don't even want to mispronounce their name. I feel like that's very rude. I have Wilder Girls by Rory Power, Sadie by Courtney Summers, All Your Twisted Secrets by Diana Urban, and The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. I honestly have not read like any thrillers. The only one that I've read is All Your Twisted Secrets, and I really loved it. So I'm hoping to kind of fly through this section of my bookshelf in the month of October. I'm hoping to read a lot of these for Hollow Reads, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I will have a lot of thoughts to tell you guys about these books. But those are all the books on my shelves in here. I have a smaller shelf out in the living room that has a lot of my special editions that I get from my subscription boxes and things like that, so I will also show that to you guys. Okay, so now we are in my living room with my other shelf behind me, and the first thing I want to show you guys is the top of my shelf here. I got some bookends in one of my subscription boxes, and I keep all of the library books that I get up here, and I also keep two of my stuffed animals, Cora and Pongo. They're super cute, especially because Cora can flip inside out. She's one of these little stuffed animals. So cute. But I have them there, and then I have this Zodiac book behind it. It's The Astrology of You and Me, which I think is super cool. And then this shelf down here, I have my mythology section. Also, sorry if the lighting's not the best. I never film over here, so it's really hard to have a fun little setup. But this is my mythology shelf, and I have my 2 editions of Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I have Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews, and then The Song of Achilles and Circe by Madeline Miller. And then over here, I have the beginning of my little shrine I'm going to have for Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I ordered these art prints of Jax and Evangeline, which are the 2 main characters in that book that's coming out this month, and I literally cannot wait. So I decided to start a shrine, basically. So the rest of the shelf are basically my collector's editions and my special editions that I've had from my subscription boxes. So on this shelf, we have The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He. I don't really know how to say her name, so sorry in advance. I have Witches Steeped in Gold by Cian Smart, Sisters of the Snake by authors that I don't know right now, Serena and Sasha Nanua. I'm so bad with names. I feel terrible. I also have Fire with Fire by Destiny Soria, This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron, who's the same author as Cinderella is Dead, which I have in my office I showed you guys earlier. I have 6 Crimson Cranes by Elizabeth Lim and Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I've only read Witches Steeped in Gold and 6 Crimson Cranes, but I'm really excited to read all of these, especially Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. I have really high hopes for that, so I haven't picked it up yet because I'm honestly kind of scared to read it, but hopefully I really enjoy it. Over here, I have my special collector's edition of Caraval by Stephanie Garber. It's gorgeous, and there's some secret pages in the back that have little pages from Stephanie Garber's journal when she was writing Caraval, interviews with different characters, super fun things like that. And then I have my TBR jar that I haven't filled up yet for this month, so I should definitely do that, but it really helps when I'm super indecisive and I don't know what to read. And then down here, I have my Six of Crows section. I have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. And then I also have the collector's edition of Six of Crows, which is super pretty, especially because we have pictures of all the characters in the back, which is definitely my favorite part. And then over on this shelf, we have more special editions from my subscription boxes. We have Among the Beasts and Briars by Ashley Poston, which is really good. It's haunting and whimsical and super fun. And we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, This Golden Flame by Emily Victoria, Sweet and Bitter Magic by Adrienne Tooley, which is a sapphic romance fantasy. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely check this one out. I have The Bright and the Pale by Jessica Rubinkowski, The Gilded Ones by Namina Forma, another copy of Witches Steeped in Gold by Cian Smart, and then The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. And then over here I have a little quote that I really like, A book is a dream that you hold in your hand. I have my 2 newest books that I've been given from subscription boxes. I have These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan and A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. I recently read These Hollow Vows, and it's so good. It's like The Cruel Prince meets ACOTAR, and I love it. There's great political intrigue. I really enjoyed the romance element, even though there wasn't as much romance as I was expecting, but I still think it's done so well, and I'm really excited for the sequel, even though that just came out, but I would love to see what happens next. And I'm really excited for A Lesson in Vengeance. I have to show this to you guys because the pages are gorgeous. They're this shimmery silver, and I'm obsessed. And then down on this bottom shelf, we have my collector's edition of ACOTAR by Sarah J. Maas, and this really cute planter thing that I don't have anything in, but it's for Crescent City, which I have not read yet, but this is beautiful and it makes me want to read that book immediately. Alright, so that is the end of my bookshelf tour. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the books that I have on my shelf. I really love showing it off to you guys, especially because I just reorganized it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I would genuinely appreciate it so much, and if you do subscribe, please click the notification bell so you know when I upload next. Thank you guys so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in my next video.